I wonder how much you think this original Norman Cornish drawing is worth. Discovered by David Elstob and I at a recent Rotary Club antique valuation event. Norman Cornish, known as the most celebrated mining artist of the 20th century.
Well, David, we have a very happy, involved audience here. Come on, everybody, wake up. That's more like it. So we've got a Cornish.
We have.
Tell us about the Cornish.
Lovely Norman Cornish charcoal sketch of a gentleman at the bar. Classic, one of his scenes. Norman Cornish, of course, a very well-known mining artist based in Spennymoor, and really very, very popular now.
Yeah.
I was just looking at the back, it's got some wonderful provenance with it.
Let's have a look at that. So there's the letter from Norman. Isn't that lovely? I mean, to get that, because there are fakes on the market,
There's
David,
a lot of fakes about.
There are.
That's as good as it gets provenance-wise.
Okay, talk about provenance. Introduce yourself, sir. You are the owner.
I am, yes. My name's Keith Gunning. I first sort of thought about Norman when this book came out. I was probably about 10 or 11 when this came out. It's got a nice picture of Eldon Square in Newcastle on the front. I was brought up in Newcastle, and when I was a little boy before I went to school, my grandfather was in and out of work, and he used to take me for walks all over Newcastle, Jesmond Dean, up the West End, and we used to go and chase the pigeons in Eldon Square. So, and that's about the time that I was doing that. So there's little kids on there chasing the pigeons. It's probably not me, but it could be.
Ah, right, okay.
So I always knew Norman Cornish's name. Fast forward to 2001, I'm a newly appointed consultant in Durham, or
Right.
Durham and Darlington, and I saw the name Norman Cornish on the list for patients coming to clinic. And he wasn't as popular and as well known as he is now.
Now, when was that?
That was 2001.
2001, right.
And I sort of asked around and I said, do you think this is the Norman Cornish? And everyone at the hospital said, who?
Hang on, has everybody heard of Norman Cornish? Yes.
Yeah, well, in 2001...
I mean, he's a hero, isn't he? He's a North Country hero. But people know of Norman Cornish, not just in the North Country, but now all over the world. I mean, he's collected, literally, isn't he, David? All over the world.
He is. He's probably... His climbing value of his works probably started around then, 2000, 2001, really.
Okay, so you're his consultant.
Yeah.
You meet him.
Yeah, so
What
I took
do you
the book
say to him?
along and I said, are you Norman Cornish the artist? And he said, oh, you've heard of me.
Bless him.
So we had a chat about Eldon Square. I took the book along. I got him to sign the book for me. It's the only time I've really been starstruck by a patient.
Right.
You don't see many famous patients in Darlington,
No.
but he's the only one that really starstruck me. And we talked about art and what he did and how he did it.
Yeah.
He told me about other people he'd met, and I sorted him out, discharged him, and then a few weeks later the parcel appeared. With my
So what did you say?
secretary.
Did you say, I'm going to save your life if you do me a pencil drawing? Is that what you said?
There was no negotiation at all.
And he sent this as a gift to you?
He sent this as a gift, unsolicited gift. I
Oh,
wouldn't ask
how-
for anything, obviously.
How wonderful.
And I was really pleased with it, so I got it framed up. It just came, it was in the mount, but not in the frame. And it came with the letter, and I put this on the front and asked the framer to put the letter on the back for me.
What a wonder. I mean, who is envious of that? Because I am. Yeah, give him a round of applause. Okay, you've seen the BBC shows, Bargain Hunt, Flog It, Antiques Road Trip. We know that at the end of the day, it's all about the money, isn't it, ladies? Hey, you know that. You'll never sell it until it's worth £1 million, then you're going to sell it, that's for sure. But as for valuation, David Elstob from Elstob Auctioneers knows what this thing is worth because he sells them when they come in the market. Any guesses? What do you think the original Norman Cornish is worth? 5 grand. 25,000 sold to the lady over there. 25,000. David Elstob, what's it worth?
I heard somebody say 5,000, which I think is probably about right. It's probably between 4,000 and 6,000 in auction.
4,000 and 6,000. Let's give him a round of applause. Well done, you, sir.